Have you ever just looked at those super successful people and thought, what do they have that I don't? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the habits and the mindsets of that top 10%. And here's the kicker. It's a formula that pretty much anyone can learn.
So, what is it? What's that magic ingredient they all seem to share? Is it just dumb luck? Being born into the right family? Or maybe some kind of genius-level talent that the rest of us just missed out on?
The answer is actually way more exciting than any of that. The real secret, it isn't some kind of genius you have to be born with. It's a formula. It's a specific set of learnable habits and ways of thinking that when you practice them over and over, make all the difference. So let's break down the first piece of that puzzle.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts on the inside. Before a single action is taken, the top 10% build this incredibly powerful internal framework. This is the foundation that everything else gets built on.
It all kicks off with what you could call an inner compass. Think about it. You wouldn't just get in your car and start driving without a destination plugged into your GPS, right? Well, the top 10% treat their lives exactly the same way. They're not just wandering around hoping for the best. They know exactly where they're headed. And that clarity, it means that even slow progress is still real progress, because every single step is getting them closer to that finish line. Okay, this right here is a massive shift in thinking. So many of us get caught in this trap of looking at what our friends are doing, what our colleagues are doing, and constantly measuring ourselves against them. The top 10%, they do something totally different. The only person they're competing with is who they were yesterday. This focus on just getting a little bit better every day, it's not only healthier, it's the absolute key to real, sustainable growth. And what about failure? For most people, that's a stop sign. It's a reason to just give up. But for this group, it's just part of the class curriculum. They don't see failure as the end of the road. They see it as critical feedback. Every mistake, every single setback becomes a source of strength, a really valuable asset that makes them smarter and tougher for whatever's coming next.
Oh, this is so important. We all have those days, right? Where you just don't feel like it, you're discouraged, you're not motivated. The difference is successful people don't let those temporary feelings call the shots. They make their choices based on their long-term goals, on the person they're trying to become, not on how they happen to feel in that exact moment.
So, a winning mindset is absolutely essential, but let's be real, it doesn't mean anything without execution. That brings us right to pillar number 2, turning all those internal goals into real, tangible results out in the world. The absolute core of this pillar is a bias toward action. See, they don't wait until everything's perfect or until they feel 100% ready, because they know that day might just never come. They start now. They get that dreams only turn into reality when you take small, concrete steps. And they know that the word tomorrow is the #1 place where great opportunities go to die. And they completely reject that get-rich-quick fantasy. Success for them isn't about one giant swing for the fences, hoping to hit a grand slam. Their whole approach is different. It's not about one massive, heroic effort. Instead, their greatest weapon is consistency. And this quote just says it all. A single drop of water does nothing to a rock, but over time, millions and millions of drops can literally carve a canyon. The top 10% apply that exact same principle. They do the small, important things every single day, relentlessly, until the thing that seemed impossible just becomes inevitable. Look, motivation is great. It feels awesome, but it's a fair weather front. It comes and it goes. The top 10%, they don't rely on it. They rely on discipline. Discipline is what gets you to show up when you really don't feel like it. It's doing the work on the hard days because you're committed to the goal, not because it's easy or fun. That, right there, is the real game changer. All right, so success is never a straight line. It's a long, winding road, and it's full of obstacles. So this third pillar is all about how to navigate that journey, how to keep your momentum going, push through the tough spots, and just keep growing along the way. So how do they keep going for the long haul? Well, they focus their energy on 4 really specific areas. This isn't just about grinding it out. It's about working smarter, by always learning, by tackling problems head-on, by managing their time like a pro, and by carefully building an environment that fuels them instead of draining them. Let's look at the actual tools in their toolbox. Instead of just trying to work harder, they're always working smarter by investing in knowledge. Instead of just reacting to every little thing that pops up, they master their time by focusing on what's truly important.
And maybe most critically, when they hit a roadblock, they don't run away from it, they lean into it because they understand that the path to success is paved with solved problems. This is a big one. They get that the people you spend your time with will either lift you up or drag you down. It's that simple. So they actively choose to be around people who inspire them, who challenge them to be better, and they make a point to distance themselves from negativity. Your environment really is either a launch pad or an anchor. I absolutely love this distinction. Everybody gets tired. Everyone feels burned out on the journey at some point. But successful people understand a crucial difference. Fatigue is just your body's signal to rest and recharge. It is not a signal to quit. Resting makes you stronger for tomorrow. Quitting means you throw away everything you've worked for. And finally, if a plan just isn't working, they don't stubbornly stick to it while the ship sinks. They have the guts to pivot, to change course, or even to scrap the whole thing and start over if they have to. They don't see a new beginning as a failure. They see it as a chance to find a better, smarter way forward. So when you put this all together, what does it really mean? The key thing to remember is that being in that top 10% isn't about winning some kind of genetic lottery. It's about consciously and consistently applying a proven formula. So here's that formula all laid out. It starts with your mindset, your inner world where you only compete with yourself and you treat failure as fuel. Then you translate that into the real world through relentless action. You start now, you stay consistent, and you rely on discipline when motivation fades. And finally, you keep it all going through a commitment to growth. You rest instead of quit, and you never, ever stop learning. And remember, these aren't personality traits you're born with. They are skills you can build. Which, of course, brings us to the final and most important question of all. Knowing that this isn't about luck, but about action, what is the one small thing you can do today to start building these habits for yourself? What's your first step going to be?